Hello, I'm John Kneebone and welcome to Mainline Baits Carp Fishing TV, where today I'm going to try and answer one of the biggest questions we get asked here at Mainline, and that is, how do I choose a boilie? Now, a boilie video wouldn't be a very good boilie video if we didn't give you a chance to win some boilies. So make sure you watch to the end of the video, where I'll be giving you a chance to enter our boilie giveaway and a chance to win 10 kilos of our freezer bait boilies. Okay, before we go into the details and differences between different boilies and the things you'll need to consider when choosing one, I just want to let anybody that's new to fishing know exactly what a boilie is. And basically, a boilie is a carp fishing bait that is made up from a dry ingredient that will generally contain things like milk and fish proteins. It may contain spices and other elements to give it a food source type structure. This is then mixed with a liquid and eggs. Now the liquid will in most cases be able to add a sweetener or a attractor or a blend of all these types of things, and again create a food source element to the bait. And by mixing the dry ingredients with the wet ingredients, you then create a paste. This paste is then rolled into balls, generally just round balls, and then they're boiled to give those boiled baits a hard and durable skin. Now the reason that you want this hard durable skin upon your bait is that to a certain extent, when you're fishing with boilies, you'll be singling out the carp in the lake and not the other species. Yes, good sized tench and bream will come along and they'll eat boilies, but things like rudd, roach, silverfish, it takes a big shoal of those a long time to nibble away and get through boilies. So when you use boilies, they can be out and presented on your spot for a long period of time until perhaps those carp come along. And that's the whole reason why boilies were developed years ago, moving on from things like paste. Now, we've got a few different videos that show you how to make boilies if you do actually want to make them from scratch and roll them yourself. It does give you the opportunity to customize them a little bit. And if you'd like to watch those videos, I'll leave links to those in the description below this video. Right, now let's move on to the main differences between different boilies. Okay, the two main differences between boilies is shelf life boilies and freezer bait boilies. Now with shelf life boilies, they contain a small amount of preservative and have been air dried so that they will remain shelf life in the bag for long periods of time. This means that they can be stored in a cupboard, a shed, somewhere like that. You could even have a bag of these under the seat in the car just in case you run out of other baits, and they can be there as a bit of a reserve. But they're very user friendly when it comes to the storage. Just keep them out of direct sunlight or excessive heat and they'll be fine in the bag, like I say, for long periods of time. The other type of boilie that I've mentioned there is freezer baits. Now freezer baits, they're made with fresh ingredients, and as soon as they're roiled and boiled, they're then put into a freezer so that this maintains the active ingredients, it maintains their condition within the bait. Now within Mainline Baits freezer baits, there's active ingredients that are triggered by water. So in effect, as soon as you put one of those boilies in the lake, all the attractors, all the active ingredients within that bait are triggered and start working for you. Now you don't want those ingredients to be triggered prematurely by the boilie perhaps sweating in the bag, getting wet, or any type of moisture at all while the bait is just merely being stored. So these baits, they need to be stored in a freezer. So this is the first difference that you're going to need to consider when choosing a boilie. If you've got plenty of freezer space, then you've got every option open to you. But if you haven't got that freezer space, then shelf life baits could be the way forward. So let's have a closer look at that type of boilie now. All boilies, regardless of their makeup and flavour, can catch carp both small and large from all different kinds of waters, whether they're hard or difficult. But that said, different types of boilies will lend themselves better to different fishing situations. So the one I'm going to start off on is the small Response Boilie Handy Pack. These are available in 200 gram packets in both the 10mm and the 15mm size, and there's a lot of different high attract flavours to choose from. Got the strawberry zest here, got a classic flavour there, Sweetcorn. And if you're fishing small commercial day ticket type waters with lots of carp and you just want to put a few boilies in, you don't necessarily want to be carting a lot of tackle and bait around with you, a small bag of these are perfect. Do the 15mm size as well, like I say, in the 200 gram. And if you do need a few more boilies, you find a flavour that's really working well for you, then we do a 450 gram size packet, and that'll also provide the 18mm size in that size of packet as well. Now, moving on from the response flavour, we've then got the high impact boilies. Again, these are another shelf life boilie, and these have got the food source element very strongly at the forefront of their makeup. Again, lots of high attract flavours, but we've also got a really good nutritional base mix that they're mixed with. And then, like I say, their shelf life, so these can be stored in your shed, underneath your car seat, anywhere like that. Now, they come in two different size boilies. They come in a 15mm size, a 20mm size, and then they also come in a 1 kilo packet like this. And then if you're planning a few sessions on the same lake, yeah, it could be worth you buying in a larger bag, so you've got plenty of bait should you need it in the 3 kilo size. So there you go, two different types of shelf life boilies there for you to look at. If you're new to carp fishing and maybe you're still building up all your bait and tackle, money's a little bit tight, small packets of the response range, they could be really good for you. And like I say, if you're only doing short sessions, maybe a little club water, day ticket water, where you're just looking for a quick bite of an afternoon, not going to take a lot of gear with you, again, a small handy pack of boilies could be just right for you. If you're looking to mount a bit more of a campaign, perhaps a syndicate water or somewhere where you're going to be visiting it regularly and you want to get them fish onto that same flavour label, then I'd be looking more at the food source boilie, the high impact boilie. Both shelf life, both easy to store and all ready to catch carp for you. Right, now let's take a look at the freezer baits. Now, where these freezer baits really shine is in fishing situations that you might perhaps deem a little bit more tricky. Club waters, syndicate waters, waters where they're maybe getting a bit more pressure, maybe there's not so many fish, because you've got a food source element combined with an active ingredient element. You've got lots of milk and fish proteins, lots of nutritional value within the dry ingredients of the bait, things that the carp are going to enjoy eating. They're going to absorb that nutritional value, and because of that, they're then going to keep coming back for more and more and more. And on some waters, baits such as the cell completely dominate. The fish just see them as a natural food source and just keep coming back for more and more and more. Now, like I say, that's also combined with the liquid that contains the active ingredient, and that's triggered by water. So even if you're using these boilies for the first time on a water that you've never been to before, it's going to start working for you straight away. One thing that I would recommend when you're looking at a freezer bait is perhaps going to your local tackle shop, maybe having a sniff of the pop-ups or the jars that you can open that are on the shelf, so you've got an idea about the smell, the colour of what the freezer bait is going to be. And then when you pick one that you really like, is then stick to it, because the thing is with these baits, the more you put in over the longer period of time, they just keep getting better and better and better. Now, you have got some options within the freezer bait range. There's a list of flavours, but you've also got different size packets and different size boilies. The boilies are available in 10mm, 15mm and 18mm. Now, if you're fishing a lake that nuisance fish, they're not a problem, I'd perhaps be looking to incorporate some 10mm baits, even if it's into a mix of other sizes, into my baiting approach. It just means that there's lots more items for the fish to get through on the lake bed, and they're particularly good if they're being added to other baits like particles in a spot mix. Now, if bream, tench, nuisance fish can be a bit of a problem, it can be a good idea to up the size of your bait, and that's where 15mm, 18mm boilies will come in. The other thing to consider there with your size is what range you're going to be fishing and how you're going to be dispatching your bait. If you're going to be catapulting bait, maybe 20 yards, 30 yards, the maximum you can really get them out. 15, 18 mil sizes. If you're only fishing close in, 10 mil won't be a problem. And if you're fishing any further than that and you're looking for a spread of bait, perhaps you're using a throwing stick, again, 15 mil, 18 mil sizes, they're going to be much more suited to that type of fishing. They come in a 1 kilo bag, but we've also got a 5 kilo bag and a 10 kilo bag. So at the beginning of the season, if you're looking to plan a campaign on a water, you've chosen a boilie, you can get a nice large stock of bait, get it in the freezer, you know you're sorted for the whole year. And like I say, the longer you keep with the bait, the better the results get. Very often, our team, they're catching big target fish. Sometimes they're lucky it's the first fish that they catch, but very often they're working towards that, catching fish after fish after fish, and ultimately that's when those big fish come along. Okay, one last thing I need to mention with regards to freezer baits is that they do require a small amount of care once you're out on the bank. You don't want to leave them sweat in the bag. They need to be air dried in an air dry bag or bucket, and then after that you may want to rehydrate them with the liquid. Now, we've done some videos that cover all of that, so if you want to have a look at that and find out what that process is, I'll leave a link to that video in the description below. But there you go. That's a look at all the different types of boilies. Let's just have a little summary to see what choices you're going to make. So now for the tricky part, choosing a boilie. To be honest, a lot still comes down to personal preference, but what I would suggest is if you're brand new to carp fishing, perhaps you're just fishing a little high stock day ticket water and you're learning your approach, you're learning all the aspects of carp fishing, picking up one of these small handy packs from the Response range, maybe even a couple to have a couple of different flavors to try, you're not going to go far wrong. They're easily stored, easily used, and like I say, it's going to allow you to concentrate on learning all the basics and fundamentals of your carp fishing approach. Now, if you're planning to fish a longer, more substantial campaign somewhere, or perhaps you know that your water is just that little bit harder, you want that good food source boilie, but you've not got freezer space, you need something easy to store, then the high impact range, that could be the one for you. If we're lucky enough to get all our trips to France again soon, again, brilliant boilie for taking over there, available in a 20 ml size and shelf life, perfect for a week-long trip to France. And finally, we've got the freezer bait range. If you're looking to be able to present the ultimate in food source attraction and you've got the freezer space, you're happy to air dry these once on the bank, maybe you want to rehydrate them and give them a little bit of a twist, then this is the bait for you. You really can't go wrong. Like I say, they work as soon as you put them in the water, and the more you put them in over a long period of time, the better your results get. So there you go. That's a look at all the boilies that we do. All of these boilies also come with a range of hook baits. We've got liquids to match, pellets to match, and lots of other accessory baits to complement the range of boilies. And I'll leave links to those below. We've also got some videos, I think, where we look at the different things that match these boilies. Again, I'll leave links to those videos in the description box below. The bullet points really are: think about the type of water you're fishing, think about the stock within that water. Are there nuisance fish? Think about your storage, and think about how you're going to handle these baits once you're on the bank. And finally, obviously, think about your budget. And once you consider all of them things, as well as what type of flavour you want, a fruit, a savoury, a fish, a spicy type bait, or a combination of all of those, you'll find exactly what you need within one of these boilie ranges. Okay, now for the part that you've all been waiting for, your chance to enter our boilie giveaway, where you could win 10 kilos of these lovely freezer bait boilies. All you need to do to enter is make sure you subscribe to the channel. Yes, subscribe to the channel. If you don't subscribe to the channel yet, with all the times I've been going on at you, well then shame on you. But if you have subscribed to the channel, then you're in with a chance of winning this giveaway. All you need to do next is go to the comments box below and write #Mainline Baits, and you'll be in with a chance of winning this freezer bait. What we'll do is we'll pick one lucky winner at random and post their details on the community tab of this YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Hit the notification button so you know when our next video is coming out. If you don't yet subscribe to the channel, then please hit that subscription button below. We'd really appreciate it. And if you'd like to watch more videos about boilies and how to use them, I'll leave links to those here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.